Hey, good morning, Dan. The storm up in the Palouse finally arrived here. We've got, like 20 mile an hour winds with 30 mile an hour gusts. It's not that windy right now, but it was sure windy in town. I don't know what the difference is. You can see in the distance there, that flag really whipping. Anyway, I'm gonna go down and dig this hole out. It's about 14 degrees, perfect weather. Wind, snow, all things good. So I think I found the hole. There's a slight depression, of course, where we dug the hole out. The ice is a lot smoother. So I think you can just see the outlines there, but it was so shallow. I think I'm gonna start like here and just do this, the deeper half. And let's see. Yep, thick enough to walk on. That's good. I was a little worried, but not really. So I guess I better get to work. Sarah will be here soon. Woo! Oh. Okay. We have a fish.
Hi, Liz.
Fish.
We have a fish. We gotta be
Hey, Dan. As you can see, this is from several days ago. I'm just now getting around to making this video. I guess this was maybe just at the end of last week, because today was 42 degrees and sunny, no wind, really, really nice. And then it's going to get, I think we have some snow coming, but anyway, it's not bad. Yeah, I'm really enjoying your videos of you guys going in the river. Yes, I did notice that when Gary walked in that he stepped off a ledge and almost went under. I couldn't quite tell what he was doing. He didn't seem to be getting back into the shallows with any great vigor, but maybe that's because he didn't want to get his hands wet,
out of the water,
as you said. So anyway,
bad form, Dan.
yeah.
Bad form.
You also had talked about let's see, what did you most recently recommend? Oh, you were Theranos, reading about Tyler Shaw. Was that his last name, Tyler Shaw? No, that doesn't sound right. Tyler something. Anyway, the guy who blew the whistle. Maybe it's not Tyler at all. Yeah, it's hard to feel really sorry for all of those folks, given that they're all rich to begin with. I don't think she was rich, though, was she? The founder of Theranos. But maybe she did come from money. But it's like a bunch of people coming from money, talking a bunch of other people with money to give them money in hopes of making more money. So, it's like a classic pyramid scheme. Eventually the people who get screwed out are the people who didn't have a lot of money to begin with. So,
on the other side is still water. About a half an hour.
God bless America. But you specifically wanted me to read about the whistleblower, and I was just curious what your thoughts were on that. I don't know.
If you order more than $700,
It doesn't really seem like they have a product that was going to work. But how many startups, especially in Southern California, have a product that is they're promising something but isn't really going to work, or work as described. So I don't know. I just feel like anybody who gives other people money kind of deserve what they get, but that's just me. So Spanish class is going well. I'm in my third day. We are, I really like my professor, Juan Carlos Fernandez Iglesias, de Barcelona, I think. Maybe, I don't remember where he's from. Anyway, he's Spanish. He talks fast, but he talks fuerte, so I can understand most of what he's saying. Fuerte is loud.
Yeah, get the
or loudly.
I'm gonna get a delivery Tesla.
And yeah, so I can, I'm picking up, I don't know, a little more than half. and he does a lot of writing on the chalkboard, which really is helpful. But he seems so knowledgeable linguistically
Right on the other side of your road. It should be coming.
about the language and about how the language works and how the language is related
Camera, I
to
know.
other Latin-based languages and English.
Actually,
And it's just, yeah, it's super
For you in the camera
interesting.
world.
I am one of only 2 guys in the class. I think there's maybe
There's
20
two
people
foxes.
total.
Oh,
Two foxes.
I do know a couple people who were in my class,
that was
maybe
just
3 or
an
4 were in my class last
no,
semester.
out in the middle of Lake Lona yesterday.
And,
just shy of 2
but,
o'clock.
you know, I am the
I'm driving
only
down Huff
non-18 to
I'm
21-year-old
late for a
that's in
meeting,
there.
and there are 2
But,
foxes like 200 yards away from the visitor
But yeah,
center.
I'm enjoying it. I can only imagine how much better I would be at speaking if I could hear everything that's going on. Like, for example, yesterday he asked a question. He said something. I didn't catch any of it. And 3/4 of the class raised their hand. It's like, okay, I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, so yeah, Keith had picked us up
You
at
know,
the
and
airport.
but you know, like today though, we broke into small group,
Oh,
like
I
a group
gotta
of
recharge
2,
now. And
groups
it's
of
like we had to
2,
stop
and
like 40
we were talking
minutes.
about
We had to-
imperfecto,
yeah, and the whole reason we had to pick this up is because
preterito, which is
our plane
the
got grounded.
preterite,
It
so
was
the
supposed to
simple
be
past
24
tense
hours.
versus
So we ended up going
the
to
past
Minneapolis,
perfect,
and we ended up
the
on a rush.
past
It's like,
imperfect.
let's do it on baggage.
For example,
Just get off there
you
and have
know,
him pick us up.
I
It
could say
saved us
while I
like
was
an
reading
hour. And by
a
the
book
time
or while I was taking a shower,
home, it was
someone
the
called
exact
on the
same
phone. Now I could say someone called, meaning that person called once and it was
I
done,
bet your
or
Land Cruiser never
I
got
could
the
say
charge, does it?
someone was calling on the phone.
6
You know,
miles
those
to
are
the
2
gallon.
slightly separate. You know, there's one's a preterite, one's a imperfect. So anyway, that's the kind of stuff I'm really into anyway. So it was really interesting going through all that today. And I could understand most of that. And like I said, in that small group, I actually was able to understand what, you know, the girl who was in my group was saying, which was
Dan, this
helpful.
is something you never get in the Umatilla. We literally have a.
Other than that, we had the home
it
inspection
is.
last night,
I don't know.
yesterday,
It's like,
and it went really, really well. The
Window
big
pane,
surprise was
window
that
pane.
all of the
sort
roof
of
decking
rigid
is
slab,
new,
if there's
I would
such a
say in the
thing.
last 5 years, which means the roof is new as well.
Oh no, it is.
Which,
Right, that's a
you know, there
separate
is
group.
almost
Oh,
a
that's
square of
mine
shingles
guy.
sitting in the
Let's
garage,
go because it took us a while to get in. Let's
you
go
know,
to,
still, you know, essentially brand new
I mean,
and
on
wrapped
the-
up. And I thought, oh no,
on the
that's,
video counter.
when I first saw it, I thought that was so that they could fix
I was gonna say 15
the,
more seconds.
you know, fix the roof. But nope, it's actually it's all new. The only problem is can you see that eagle right there in the tree? Probably not. You know, that eagle right there in that tree. So as I was saying, the only problem is the soffit and fascia is almost gone on one side, and the attic, when we poked our heads up through it, you know, I was staring at three or four pigeons looking back at me like, what the hell are you doing looking in our, you know, coming in our attic? So it looks like all of the insulation is covered in a sort of a, you know, a thin layer, in some places, thick layer of pigeon shit. But, you know, that's remediable. But as I said, the roof was just, I was really happy about that. The other thing is that there's a couple of spots of asbestos. You know, that's not uncommon for a house that old. Some of the plumbing in the basement needs to be redone, but it's not hard. It's all accessible. The big thing I think is going to be the wiring. We're going to have to redo a lot of that because it's an old fuse panel, and so we're going to have to fix that. And the front steps need to be redone completely. They pretty much crumbled. I mean, you can walk up them, but they're in bad shape, and the railing is falling down. You know, there's just a lot of little things here and there. You know, so I've priced out some scaffolding, and we're gonna, you know, that way we can actually just get up there and just fix that whole side once the weather is amenable to that. So let's say late March or April. Then we can actually paint those. You know, paint that, put the new fascia board up, paint that, put some venting into the soffits, et cetera, et cetera. So Anyway, that is. But there were enough things that we felt like it would be nice to see if they would take some money off of it. The person selling it is actually the sister of the man who died. He was 57, I think, and he died in July. So the house has been empty since July. I know they want to get rid of it, and they're selling it as is, which means they're not going to fix anything. But they might take some money off the offer. So we were at 164. We've asked to take 5,000 off to 159. So we'll see what they say. But generally speaking, I'm really positive about it, and I really hope this works out. So I will obviously keep you updated. We should know for sure, of course, before I see you in Mexico. But I guess that's all I've got. So that's my story. Ow, I'm sticking to it. Oh, no, I did want to mention yesterday we went down, and this is the first time we had been down in, I don't know, 5 or 6 days to the river. And it had been really, really cold, like down below zero. And the ice was so utterly thick. We only did like a 4x4 square, and it took 40 minutes. I mean, it was so thick. And then the problem is the water started, because it started to warm up, the water's starting to come up. So there was a lot of upward pressure on that ice. So as soon as we, so what we did is we worked our way around and around and around, just chipping more and more and more. And I was having to get all the ice shavings, ice chips out. We were also having to make the essentially the trough wider, just because the ice chisels would get caught. But as soon as we popped through, all that upward pressure made that water bubble up and completely filled that trough. So now we were trying to clear the ice while also, jamming the ice chisel through 2 or 3 inches of water before it hit ice. So it was a major pain in the tuchus. Today was much better. There was just like a little thin smear of ice, and that was it. So, okay, I'll stop talking. That's my story. Boo! Sticking to it.